If you're unemployed, it's going to take you a lot longer to find your job. Yes, you read the thumbnail right. It's going to take you a lot longer. How do I know? Well, check out this data on the U.S. job growth slowed in April. So when you look at that, when you look at the graph, it hasn't been this bad for like over a year. It's crazy how actually bad this new job growth came in. And last month, they said in March, I was like, oh my gosh, it came in over the expected numbers, and now it's almost half. So this is really bad. So what does that mean? Today we're going to go over a few topics, what that's going to impact in the job market and how that's going to impact you, like always. And the first topic is it's going to be a tighter job market with only 175,000 new job creations going on. That means that there's fewer job openings. That means it is more competitive. With all these layoffs and whatnot, this is actually really bad. So if you're trying to get a job, it's going to be way, way harder to compete with other people that are qualified. I remember a year ago, you can just send out your resume and you're basically gotten an interview because there were such need of hiring people. And right now you got to send 100 resumes and you maybe get one phone call back. And it is not looking so. That has also a negative consequences on you of going out and ripple effects of you not being able to spend the money to go to restaurants and whatnot. Because I know people now in a household that both got laid off. So this is uncharted territory for me because in 2008, I was not, I was just entering the job market and I wasn't a seasoned professional. And now I am a seasoned professional and I'm seeing it. And frankly, it's kind of scary. So what does that do? Potential wage stagnation. So what does that mean? That means that it's less competitive out there. You do not have as much leverage to gain a raise or a promotion because they say, if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. And they know that you that you probably won't find another good paying job like it anytime soon. And employers aren't stupid. They know how it is. And that's why the job market goes in cycles, right? So there's job seeker markets and then there's employers market where they got the upper hand. And now they got the upper hand and we don't know how long that is going to be. And this is going to create a whole bunch of problems for us down the road. Increased job insecurity. Yeah. If you're looking at only 175,000 jobs created and all these layoffs are coming, then you do not know if you're going to be next. So if you're at Tesla or somebody, you do not know every morning that you get out of bed and walk to the factory if you're going to get laid off or not. You don't know if your badge is going to work. And I feel like that is one of the most devastating things to have done when you are a working person, that you just walk up to the office and your badge doesn't work, or you work from home and you try to log in and your logins don't work. And saw a good video from Chris Voss the other day, and he said you shouldn't fire people on a Friday because Barbara from Shark Tank says she loves firing people on a Friday. And I think firing people on a Friday is absolutely cruel because then you have the weekend to mull it over and a whole bunch of issues. But when you fire somebody on a Monday, then they have the whole week to send out applications to get ready and do things. And then they still have the weekend that they can enjoy. And when you fire them on a Friday, then they have the weekend to think about what they did wrong. So let me know in the comments if you would rather get fired on a Friday or a Monday. I know both suck, but just ask it. Delayed career advancement. Yeah, opportunity for new positions or career advancement might diminish a slower job market. Yeah, promotions are probably going to be harder to come around. They're going to think twice about promoting you. And if they do promote you, you know what they might do? They might give you a promotion and a job title increase, but they're not going to give you the raise. So I've seen that on other social media platforms that they've said, "Oh, congratulations, you're a senior project manager now. You're doing all the roles, duties." And then they're like, "What about my pay increase?" Nope, not happening. So that is a huge, huge bummer for all these people that are like, oh my gosh, I'm, career oriented and career focused, and you can't do it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is devastating for a bunch of people that are trying to advance their career. So impact on recent graduates. This is probably one of the most worst part about this is that new career grads, and I see this all over online, that people graduate with masters and bachelors, and they can't find a job in their degree with their degree that they're in, so they go work at Starbucks, they go work at other places with bachelor's and master's degree where they're way too overqualified for, just to gain some experiences. And I feel like that is some of the worst and hurtful things that you can do is you can get a degree that you're on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you have to trying to get, and then you got to do Starbucks barista. Not saying there's something wrong with a Starbucks barista, but when you have a degree in biomedical engineering or software and you got to do a barista to get over with it, that is just not what you went to school for, and it was a huge misuse of hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So what else is there? Potential increase in part-time work. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of people actually taking up second jobs, part-time jobs, trying to make ends meet, deliver pizza, do other things to make ends meet. And it is crazy because these part-time jobs as pizza delivery are, what I was thinking when I grew up, were always for people to get into the job market. So consumer spending could decline. Yeah. And I've been talking about that in my other videos, that another huge problem is when people don't have the money to go out and go make pizza and go to a pizza spot and they make pizza at their house. That means you fire the local pizza guy. And then that guy can't afford to pay his employees. And that means that he needs to then find another job, and he can't pay his rent on his spot that he's renting and trying to make money from. So it's a whole ripple effect of that are coming down the road that we're not even 100% sure yet how they're gonna pan out, and if they're gonna pan out and how. So yeah, I don't know how much business owners have resiliencies, because small business owners are super heavily dependent on consumer spending, on people going out to eat and doing all that. And that's what the square footage price is basically calculated off of how 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 much foot traffic a spot gets. So when you look at here, downtown Santa Cruz, when you go to a spot like this, like hamburgers or whatnot, and if you don't own that spot, then it's probably calculated on, there's so many cars driving past here, there's so many people living in the neighborhood, so that's what we're going to charge you rent for. But if you live in a place like this, and that is based off of, the square footage rent is based off of how many people travel past here, and how many people live in the neighborhood. But you cannot make a living because people just don't want to spend the money and say, hey, I can't spend $15 on a hamburger. I can't spend $20 on a hamburger. I can make it at home for $9 because I need to pay utilities, and I don't want to go into credit card debt. So that's going to be really, really bad for people down the road, because then this guy can't pay. Then the store owner can't pay his people. And so it just creates a whole ripple effect. Suppliers and everything's involved. So it's huge, 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 huge impacts. So the impact on the housing market. Slower jobs can lead to cooling of the housing market. Fewer people feel confident of making a significant financial commitment. Yeah, if you're gonna be buying a house, and you're gonna put up a huge amount of money, first of all, they tightened lending restrictions also. So you got to show proof of income. They tightened lending. So now you're in a catch-22, or you're like, I want to be a homeowner, but you have job insecurities, and I feel like there's nothing worse than having job insecurities and being a homeowner, because you do not want to lose your house, because short selling and all that is going to cost you, or foreclosure is going to wipe out everything, ruin your credit, do all that. So be very, very cautious. So changing savings and investment behavior, uncertainty in the job, yeah, leads to individuals to alter their savings and investments. Yeah, And so every dollar that's not in circulation, that's just sitting in a saving account isn't that great for the economy because it's not working. So if that dollar isn't handed down from your cashier, from you doing something med devices, you getting paid, you going to a restaurant, the server gets it, then the server goes out to another restaurant and gives it as another tip, and then you got to pay taxes, and then the garbage truck driver gets it, and the garbage truck driver goes back and gives it to to the landscaper, and so what. So there's a whole ripple effect of that $1 that we're going to see coming if they can't get this under control and turn the economy around. So long-term economics, yeah, provide slow growth, can have broad economic impacts. Yeah, it can have huge significant impacts on on the whole US. So if you have certain areas that are going to be, there's always going to be more prone to it than others. So there's going to be areas in the United States, because every recession is different. So if there's going to be like a tech recession, San Francisco will be way harder hit than Michigan, Detroit, right? So it is really, really interesting to see how all of these people that are now running around here in the Bay Area might lose their job. Then they might lose their car. Then they can't go to work. So it's a huge, huge ripple effect that it's just so sad to see what's happening. And we should have put huge amounts of money into savings account, and we shouldn't have went and bought cars over MSRP during when we had money. And we should have said, hey, let's slow down a little bit. Let's not give all the stimulus money. Crank the economy on let's not crank the economy on full blast and and overheat everything. But that's hindsight 2020, right? So I'm curious to see if you agree with this. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.